Hello YouTube! Peter here, back with another beer review for you guys. As you see, I'm back in my room for this review. That is because it's very cloudy outside today and there isn't really any light down in the basement. It's very dark, so I'm gonna do a review up here in the bar instead. And today I really didn't feel like any big, heavy stout or anything. It's been a while since I had a nice English bitter. So that's what I'm gonna be drinking today, or reviewing today. It is from Wychwood in Oxfordshire, England. I think the city was called Witney. Yeah, it's the Fiddler's Elbow. And this isn't by any means, I've had this beer before, and it isn't really an exceptional and amazing beer, but today I really just felt like a plain, ordinary, not too high in alcohol beer to relax with. And then I thought of the Fiddler's Elbow. I started getting Wychwood again now, which is quite nice, because it's not the best brewery in the world, but I find that they make some pretty decent, quite good, alright beers. And, well, it's a bitter. Special thing about this bitter is that it's brewed with wheat as well. And a bitter is a type of ale that originated from mild ales, and mild ales is, well, this one had a more of a hoppy bite to it, but not being like in an India Pale Ale or a Pale Ale or anything, but just a working class beer from England actually. I think it originated in, let me just have a look here. I really can't remember, but of course it originated in England and originated from mild. This is probably the type of ale that is mostly common in England, and usually they're served from casks, but still you can get some in bottles as this one. Wychwood Brewery has been around since 1990, so it's not a too old brewery, and they're called Wychwood because of the forest close to the brewery. It's called Wychwood. Brew some pretty good beer. They're known for their Hobgoblin, and yeah, it's a pretty decent brewery. In 2002 or was it 2006? I can't really remember. But back then they bought Brewery, which is another brewery, and then they still brew that line of the Brewery line of beers. But I have only had one Brewery bitter, which is also English bitter, and that was pretty good. But this bitter here is quite alright. I had it when I was in London last year, and it's quite alright. Let's get it poured in my, of course, Hobgoblin glass. Yeah, smells like a nice standard English bitter. Bitters are usually have a slightly floral aroma, and they're not really amazingly hoppy, but there's a hop presence, and also there is usually a floral character to the beer. But I really like bitters. It's a nice beer to use as a session beer, for example. And it's nice like with quite spicy food, because it's quite refreshing, and it's a pretty good style of beer. But let's check out the color. I'm going to turn on the light here because it is so foggy, but this is, of course, it's pasteurized. You can see that because it's completely filtered. This is a very clear golden color in my opinion. Golden, maybe a bit darker type of yellow, but looks like a traditional English bitter in my opinion, and it looks fairly good to me. But it's got a pretty decent head on there, like a one finger head, and I'm not sure if it's gonna evaporate or not. Not really, but let's check out the aroma of this beer. Yeah, there is a bit of a hop presence and a malty aroma to it as well. Quite crisp, if you can say that. Usually you say crisp about the taste, but in this aroma you can really predict that it's going to be crisp. Yeah, a bit of fruitiness or floral aroma, but not much of aroma, and it should be fairly light bodied as well since it's a bitter. But let's dig in, give it a taste. This is a quite refreshing bitter actually, and this is, well, it's very low in carbonation, but that's traditional for bitters. It is, in my opinion, pretty good. It's not being anything over the top or anything, but I find it pretty good. Tastes in the beer are flavors. Sort of got that floral taste to it. Just a tad of hops. And a citrus as well. And then it's very crisp. It's very lightly bodied. And very low carbonation, but this is a very refreshing English ale in my opinion, English bitter. But it's also definitely quite malty, as you would have expected. But I forgot about it's a half a litre bottle of course, but I forgot about the alcohol content. It's only 5.2, so it's a very drinkable beer. And I got some info here on the bottle. Fiddler's Elbow is a wonderfully refreshing beer, just as I said, brewed with wheat malts and hopped with styrians. That's it. But in bitters, brewers prefer not to use the name bitter on the beer. Well, some do because, well, it's started by young people who don't really know anything about beer. Still, they try to steer around it because of the name bitter. That's at least what I heard when I was in England. And most young people over there, well, they don't really, well, some of course drink bitters and ales, but it's mostly lagers, your Carling and your Carlsberg and Heineken and Foster's and all that. But this is quite good, quite refreshing. It's very refreshing. It's definitely not like the best bitter out there, but it's good. It's not like bad or anything. It's good. Rating wise, I think I want to rate, well, there is a bit of honey maybe as well actually right now in the palate. I don't know, it's a bit of honey, but special thing about it is there's wheat used, but you can't really taste that. But it's quite decent, quite good, and I'm rating this like a 74 I think. It's a good solid bitter, and that's just it. Cheers guys, check out my other reviews, tell me what you like of this beer if you've had it. And cheers, and I'll see you next time.